All right, I'm gonna open the meeting, and I'm gonna also open the public budget hearing as well. Anybody here to speak on the budget?
I need to.
Okay.
Just don't want to need any more explanation.
Okay. You wanna talk about that now, or what do you think?
So, usually the way to do it is you read each warrant article.
Yep.
Read it, so it's read into the minutes.
Yep.
And then you
Ask for,
any
yeah.
comments or thought. Then we move on to the next one,
Okay.
and then the public hearing can stay open, people can comment.
Okay.
We don't have a copy, you got the, all the warrant articles.
Kent has the only copy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But in your binder
In your
is
binder.
Okay. Yep.
We've also got copies of the same thing that we're
In
looking at.
in your binder, Cal puts some in your binder.
On the warrant articles tab.
Look at that. Got it. All right. All right, so why don't we start with,
Oh, wait, this is budget.
so we're actually starting at item
Start
7.
at Article 7, then read it, and then ask for any comments and.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start with Article 7, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $3,485,250 for general municipal operations. This article does not include appropriations contained in special or individual articles addressed separately. Majority vote required, recommended by the selectmen. We want to read the estimated tax impact?
Can if you want to, sure.
So why don't, I'll do that with each of the articles. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000 is $6.11. A cost for a $400,000 home, $2,444.63. Any comment on that? All right, seeing none. Article 8, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $88,000 to be deposited into the following capital reserves. Highway equipment, $10,000. Highway truck, $30,000. Rescue truck, $12,000. Landfill closure, $1,000. Maintenance and repair of town buildings, $5,000. Highway loader, $30,000. Majority vote required, recommended by the selectmen. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000, 23 cents. Cost for a $400,000 home, $92.90. Any comment on that article? All right, moving on to Article 9, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $35,874 to pay principal, $35,000, and interest, $874 on the Gold Star bond, said amount to be removed from the town's unassigned fund balance. Majority vote required, recommended by the selectmen, no tax impact. And I believe, Ken, this is the last year of that bond.
This is the last year of that bid.
All right,
Yeah.
great.
All right, seeing no comment, Article 10, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $7,000 for the purchase of a ballot counting device, said amount to be removed from the town's unassigned fund balance. Majority vote required, recommended by the selectmen, no tax impact.
And we changed that, we took it from the unassigned fund balance because we had raised the amount of taxes last year.
Yeah.
And we never spent it, so, the money was already raised, so that's why it's coming from the unassigned.
If I remember, the machine was unavailable. right?
Correct.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Article 11, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $80,000 for the renovation of the Sam Lake House garage, with said funds to come from the Sam Lake House Capital Reserve Fund. Majority vote required, recommended by the selectmen, no tax impact. Seeing no comment, I'll move on to Article 12, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $20,000 for the purpose of weatherization of the Elkins Public Library. Majority vote required, recommended by the Selectmen. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000, 5 cents. Cost for a $400,000 home, $21.11. And Tom, you're gonna speak on that at town meeting?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Article 13, to see if the town will vote to establish a voting equipment capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35:1 for the purpose of purchasing voting equipment and to raise and appropriate the sum of $5,000 to be placed in this fund. Further, to name the Board of Selectmen as agents to expend from said fund. Majority vote required, recommended by the Selectmen. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000, 1 cent. Cost for a $400,000 home, $5.28. Seeing no comment, Article 14, to see if the town will vote to establish a renewable energy capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35:1 for the purpose of purchasing renewable energy systems and to raise and appropriate the sum of $1,000 to be placed in this fund. Further, to name the Board of Selectmen as agents to expend from said fund. Additional funds would come from the Canterbury Power adder funds and would not require any tax funding. Majority vote required, recommended by the Selectmen. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000, 3/100th of a cent? Am I correct? Okay. Cost for a $400,000 home, $1.06. Tom, anybody from CCPC speaking on this, or I can't remember what we
I
talked
didn't
about.
know if we had to say anything on it.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, but if we do,
Yeah,
That seems pretty straightforward.
agreed.
Yeah.
So, but there may be questions
Yeah.
still, so. Okay, Article 15, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $6,500 for a feasibility and suitability study for the town of Canterbury transfer station to renovate/expand the transfer station at the current site or determine if the current site is not suitable for this purpose and authorize the withdrawal of $6,500 from the transfer station upgrade capital reserve fund created for that purpose. Majority vote required, recommended by the Selectmen, no taxing. Seeing nothing on that, Article 16, to see if the town will raise and appropriate the sum of $10,500 for the purpose of holding a household hazardous waste collection day at the Canterbury transfer station. Majority vote required, recommended by the Selectmen. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000, 3 cents. Cost for a $400,000 home, $11.08. Seeing nothing on that, Article 17, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $60,000 to replace the existing Packer truck with a stationary electric compactor with a variable frequency drive, a compaction container, and the installation of a concrete pad. This is a petition warrant article, majority vote required, not recommended by the Selectmen. Estimated tax impact, cost per 1,000, 16 cents. Cost for a $400,000 home, $63.34. All right, Article 18, to see if the town will vote to change the purpose of the existing transfer station upgrade capital reserve fund for the purpose of doing a feasibility and suitability study on the current transfer station and any future engineering site work on this site or any other potential site. This is a petition warrant article, 2/3 vote required, not recommended by the Selectmen, no tax impact.
Scott, can I, and I'm not sure what the legalities are or whatever, but we can withdraw this.
I think it's gotta go to town meeting,
Has to go to
right?
town meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can table it at town, you can make a motion to table it, you can vote on it, you can vote it down, whatever, but because 25 people signed the petition or more, then it has to go to town meeting.
This was, after coming to the last meeting, and I didn't get the sense that which way it was gonna go with Article, 15.
15, yeah.
And so we wanted to make sure that, the committee wanted to make sure that something was gonna be on the floor at town meeting.
Okay.
So that's the reason why it wasn't trying to embarrass the select board or anything, it was simply to get it onto the floor. So we got something there.
Understood. Okay.
So I'll speak at town meeting till you
Yeah.
table it or withdraw it or whatever the option.
Yeah, certainly we'll look to you when that comes up. All right, thanks, Rich. Article 19, to see if the town will authorize the selectmen to accept up to $15,000 from the forced distribution of funds from the Sand Lake Trust Fund. The exact dollar amount is to be determined by the trustees of the Sand Lake Trust Fund and distributed to the town by the end of the calendar year. Majority vote required, recommended by the selectmen, no tax impact. Anything else we're gonna read? All right. Teresa, we opened the public hearing for the budget at 5. So if you've got questions, comments, anything you want to bring up, feel free. Let us know.
No, just an apology for being late.
No
I had a
worries.
hard
Good to see
time
you.
to get out of my
That's all right.
driveway.
That's the other.
Plow it, Teresa, or shovel it, you know.
Well, it was plowed.
It was. Snow tires next year.
Right.
Oh,
All right. You want to sign? I see we've got a couple of department heads here. Yeah. Rachel, you want to start us off?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Good evening.
Trustee openings, I have 2 3-year positions and 2 2-year positions. I haven't heard from Sam that they haven't all re-upped, so I think we're going up. Working on our state annual report, which is a good report for us to use for our statistics to write the budget, to do our collection policies and circulation policies. Our numbers are up by 22% over last year, which has been our steady increase in the last 4 years. Rather.
The circulation numbers?
Circulation numbers and patron visits. So feeling good about that. Working with Silver Polish to do collaboration, our Canterbury Social Senior Club, also collaboration with Canterbury Country Store, Farmers Market, and New Hampshire Humanities. So we're almost done with our 2025 program schedule. And I want to thank Cal and Mary for always helping me with those town hall reservations. And want to make sure that that's still okay at the beginning of our large programming year. I have 26 programs that haven't all been reserved, quite a few of them, and wanted to know if everything's okay with us using town hall or something like that. Any opposition to
I
that?
can't imagine why it wouldn't be,
I
yeah.
can't imagine. Yeah. So
If Robin
yes.
ever voiced anything, just let me know. I just try to leave it better than I found it before.
Oh, Robin is for cleaning.
For cleaning,
Ah.
right?
Yeah.
But if she ever voiced anything or there was any concerns, just let me know.
Maybe after pop night, they shall.
Real popcorn, popcorn. The popcorn and pretzels is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Our February school vacation program is upcoming next week. So that's all I have in terms of inside the library. The outside of the library, I want to thank John and also Roy, who's been really receptive to what salt to use on the pad as opposed to what salt to use on the parking lot. Speaking of the pad, I think we definitely have to think about replacing that Probably in 2 years, just it's original, 21 years.
When you say pad, what are you talking about?
The concrete walkway.
Oh, okay.
The only place that's always given us a problem is the division between this walkway down and the walkway into the library. It is starting to heal, it has been for years, which I think 21 years is pretty darn good for concrete sidewalk in New Hampshire. But definitely the amount of salt that we use on it necessarily. But I think that's the only real project we're gonna have there. But I don't see that we need to do it soon. But I would think we probably need to do it at some point, just as a trip hazard. We mark it with cones when it rises. But I mean, I think the next step would be painting it on apparent ledge. But that's definitely the only thing I can think of in terms of renovation coming.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
Any questions for the library?
No, but if you wanna go back to plowing for a second, just John, Roy was doing a really nice job on that parking lot the other day. The way he was pulling the ice back from the curbs and everything, so just let him know, he was really doing a good job.
And I do appreciate the removal of the snow. Thank you. I'm trying to stay out here.
Thanks,
That
Rachel.
happened, which had been an issue in the past, and is no longer an issue. But thank you. Great.
Thanks for your.
Yes, oh, right.
5:30 is when I
Yeah.
told them to come because I left 30 minutes to the public.
John, do you wanna go, or I know you like to go last, but
I don't
if
really
you wanna,
have much.
if you wanna get it done and get on the road, sounds good to me.
Like I said, I don't really have much.
Okay.
Way in here. In the town. So, obviously, it snowed a few times.
Multiple times.
Right now, truck 3 will be going to Manchester tomorrow morning early. It went down there, supposed to get fixed now. Truck 5 is down, possibly water pump. I have parts coming out of Syracuse. Truck 1, I gotta fix the wing out. So right now, these big trucks are kinda need repair.
Yeah.
And Thursday storm looks like it's out, so we're good.
Yeah.
Grader was out this last storm, only because trucks were going down and I'm just looking for blades.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're getting to the point where it needs to go out and start pushing back.
Yeah.
So,
Who can drive besides you, the grader? Anybody
Yeah.
else? Okay.
legally,
Yeah,
you just need an operator's license.
yeah,
So
but,
it could be anybody.
yeah,
Who else is sat in that seat? No.
that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. I tried to talk Ben into it, but as we were putting the blade on during that storm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Eventually they'll come.
maybe.
John, you said truck 3 went down to Manchester to get fixed, but it didn't?
Yeah, I lost, top speed was 64, it's now 54, maybe. If you wanna drive up a hill, RPMs come up. I think the truck sees the hill and the RPMs just die out. I was pulling the hill in 3 gears lower than normal
Yeah.
and still thinking I'm gonna run out of gears.
Really?
Ben drove it when his truck went down and he
Yeah.
says, don't give it to me again.
Okay.
We'll try to take care of that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Wow.
Any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
The guys at the dump have been doing a great job. They're back baling normal and paper and all.
Good.
Okay, good.
All right.
Sam did send the receivables out. So
Okay.
you should have a copy of that. He can't make it tonight, he's working.
Okay.
He did want to remind everybody, the board, that,
I'm good with it.
if for whatever reason you cannot attend the town meeting, either session, you are gonna need to, appoint a proxy.
Yep.
And that can be anybody. So
I'm sorry, if we can't attend the what?
you can't attend either session
Oh,
of the
either
town
session.
meeting, either voting the first day on Tuesday or Friday night, you need to appoint a proxy.
Oh, okay. But we have to do, it's the same deal, we should be voting all day like we were.
You should be
together.
voting all day.
Yeah.
Right, and it's good to know.
Yep.
Did he have any comments on these?
No big surprises on the receivables. You can see, obviously, the payment two for 2024, there's quite a few people still on that list. So he's working on things. He did get, one big payment in from O'Neill. So they're off that list, really.
Oh, the one that's on the list? They're on here, but not, that's not a big thing.
So they paid, I think it's 2023 or 2024 outstanding.
Good.
They're down to $160.
Yeah, good.
Good.
And at some point, what do we do about lowering? Do we have to track that down or? kind of
Yeah.
lose track of that?
Yep. Yeah, and the three at the top, Collins, Samari, and Stonerick, the liens will be going out in spring, so it'll be deeding time in the spring, so he will, be sending letters out.
Thank you.
All right. Want to sign some things?
Sure.
Yeah. Yep. All right, first up is a accounts payable manifest in the amount of $36,439.87.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Hi.
Okay.
I'm merely using my phone to do some adding. If anybody needs to know that.
Just pass these over. All right, second item is a payroll manifest in the amount of $58,593.48.
Seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye. Can't wait till we get bigger lines.
Who said we're getting bigger lines?
You said when we get a new stamp.
When we get a new stamp, I'll make sure to bring it.
Thank you.
All right, next item is a welfare manifest in the amount of $1,549.25.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Anything to say on that for either of you? It's the new
Same.
poll. Yeah.
Same one,
Yeah.
each time we do it, it gets added to the bill.
Keep up the good work.
Good night, Teresa.
Thanks, Teresa.
All right, next is an interfund transfer in the amount of $15,424.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, why don't we do one more and then we'll come back to these. Next item is an appointment slip for Historic District Commission, Alex Young.
We just sign that?
Yeah, we don't need a motion. Change that. Use that. Do we need to go to executive session, chief?
I don't think so, unless he needs to, unless he feels he wants to.
You a doctor?
Yes, actually. You can tell it's late in the day and I'm getting more tired as time goes by. Chief, why don't you come on down and as soon as we're done signing this one last thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All yours.
All right, so last month was a little bit slower. I was gone for 2 weeks, and Officer Crosby was out sick for a week, so we're a little short on stats. We had 8 incidents, 3 arrests, 1 accident, 43 citations, and 399 calls for service. And state police assisted us with 6 calls.
Nice, yeah.
Says October, but that was copies over it last.
Oh, so this should be.
Yeah, it should
February?
say January, February.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They are still working some other cases. I think we did 5 search warrants in that time. I know they went up to, they was driving an hour and a half north to execute one of the search warrants.
Wow.
It takes time away too.
Yeah.
There is other stuff going on, just
Yeah.
doesn't reflect well. Older months are usually slower anyway.
Yeah. Questions or comments?
That's pretty good for accidents considering the weather.
Oh, that doesn't count the last storm.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Right.
the storm is
Or the storm, yeah.
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday.
All right,
All right?
thanks, Chief.
All right, guys.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Ready?
Yep.
All right. Chief Gamache, whenever you're ready, come on down. We heard reports of a culinary catastrophe first thing this morning.
Yes.
What?
Is that gonna be in the press release?
I'm not gonna touch that one.
Wait a minute.
Not sure if I can be as kind on that one.
Did they have the rag put over it?
Who burned what, or don't we get to know?
I think the chief is gonna fill us in.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's on my, well, that's, yeah. Well, good afternoon.
Hi.
So starting from the top, 53 incidents year to date, we're running about the same power as last year, which was significantly ahead of the year before. Multiple noteworthy incidents over the last month. We had a barn fire on Chipper Road, a large shed, 20 by 30, 1.5 story. Multiple agency response. Belmont was first on the scene, Loudon, Laconia, Concord, and they all came in. Obviously, we were there, and great work at the agency corporation, and we saved the house and we saved the adjacent barn. You know what I mean? So the adjacent barn was a little bit scorched.
Let the little score
Yeah,
tonight.
give us some character, right? You gotta give us some character.
Don't tear it off.
No animals, just a bunch of possessions and stuff like that in there, and the homeowner was very thankful. But the operation went, couldn't have gone any better than what it did. So I'm thankful for the relationships we have with those other departments, working relationships. Multiple serious medical calls. We had a paramedic intercept call, so about a year ago when I approached you about being able to carry medicine on a fire truck that Clerk could access, our paramedics could access, well, we accessed it that day. And he basically saved a life because of it. So that's in Canterbury on Shaker Road, and according to the doctors, you know, he interjected what we needed to the patient for life-saving measures, and
patients up and walking today because of that, so.
The ending.
And that, exactly what I was expecting and hoping, that, you know, that I knew eventually we'd get there, so, it's a great rocket high.
Great.
And today, report is around 7 o'clock this morning, we received 911 call that the general store was on fire. Smoke coming out of the windows, and we arrived on scene, and it ended up being the apartment adjacent to the post office, adjacent to the general store. Gentleman that was living there had a culinary catastrophe. Got the top of the stove going a little bit too, and he put it out, but through some other issues we were dealing with, so that was a pretty close call. So Kevin was there from the trustees, and a couple other people from the trustees were working on that, and then some relatives of the occupant showed up, and some housing concerns that I had, and things that I weren't bending on as far as, you know, fixing the fire alarm system and all that stuff before we took these out, and cleaning companies and all that stuff. So spent a couple hours here this morning, and Kevin was in the local area today, and we were dealing with a few things.
So is there any fire protection between the two buildings or not?
No, none. That's probably as close to call as you want to get to that, because that would decimate the entire structure.
Yeah.
Post office included.
Is there any type of sprinkler in there?
Nothing, not even the alarm system tied to the fire alarm. So, it was just a local smoke detector. Yeah. So that was a close call. It was a close call. So, on the fire prevention, I reached out to the new director. I have a meeting set up with her in March. We never met one another. And then the spring, early summer, I have a plan to run their water system through our fire trucks, which we haven't done in many years, and do a campus tour for all the people that haven't done that. So that's my plan.
We do pump up at the village?
We just want to work the hydrants.
Right.
The water comes out. So I got to get in touch with base with Ken as far as our access to the water system and where that lies and all that stuff, because I don't know the exact details, but you know, if we go there and play with the hydrants for training and we break a stem, we don't want to, you know, so I need to see where we are before I decide, but that's what I'd like to do. So I'm following, I'll be discussing again in the next couple of weeks before I go. So that's the plan there. Member ceremony March 3rd, and I hope you can make it. Starts at 18:30, it's going to be it's going to be under an hour. And we'd like the president to serve after. And Lieutenant Nelson, who retired last year, after the last ceremony, will be recognizing him for his 24 years of service. Is there something from the town that should be presented, some sort of proclamation or anything like that for a 24-year employee? Is there any plan for that? I'm just planting a seat. I'm
I
not.
think we should.
Can do that.
Yeah. So yes.
Okay.
Now that you bring it up, yes.
Okay, thank you. I think this is the right thing to do, especially with a 24-year.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And I'll make room on my agenda for that, for when you or the three of you come up.
We'll keep our remarks brief, but
Yeah, I think, okay. And, under other, things of interest, I don't know if you had noticed, but in the Clerk and Monitor and the Patch News in late January, there was a discussion an article by a current city councilor in Concord, discussing the capital area mutual aid compact, where the smaller towns, i.e. Canterbury, and other towns weren't holding up their end of the bargain as far as we're giving them more help than they're giving us, and we need to reconsider where we're growing these towns and all that stuff. So I reached out to the current Concord fire chief, as well as the other chiefs from all the small departments, and he reassured us. He goes, that's one person's opinion. I don't share the same opinion. He goes, when we need you, you come, and when you need us, we're going to come. So we've been having those discussions, and I'm comfortable with that. So
Is
if
it
you want to
important?
Google it and look, it was like late January, compact mutual aid article.
Do you feel it's important to get the other side of the story out there, as opposed to just one person's opinion?
That's one person's opinion. That had a platform, and he ran with it. And the fire chief and the other councilors don't necessarily share that same opinion.
But I mean, is it important for them to speak up if those are the people who are most concerned with your performance? And
Well, I think the fire chief determines on the operation of the department on if he's going to go mutual aid, and we have monthly contact meetings to stay on the same page. And he said the letter to the entire compact, and I've had multiple phone conversations with him.
Okay.
No, we're on the same page. There's no threat of them not coming together and following.
Okay, And as you say, you go when they ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, they're good with it.
Earlier this month, we, 3 members went to a drug enforcement association class, which is good. I've been a multiple of them before when I was in the big city. But it's, you know, we'd be naive to believe that some of those things that they discuss are not happening in the capital area. So it's good to be aware of the, you know, the narcotics and the illegal drugs permeating the area, whether it be in the interstate or in somebody's basement. So just an awareness thing. And we are hosting, speaking to Chief Rob Halers, we're hosting one in March 18th. Chiefs from Concord, Loudon, all the area departments are coming in, coffee, breakfast, and that's just kind of like the networking that we do. We try to do it monthly, and each department takes turn hosting. So we're hosting in March. That's all I have. If you have any questions.
That's a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
How's the icicle on the corner of the garage? Is it there this year, or
The what?
the icicle that comes down?
Oh, yeah, it started, they created this out now. It's there.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a big ice dam there, but we had the roof fixed for summer finally, and knock on wood, there's no leak, so we're still leaking every year for a long time, so I'm gonna guess close to 20 years. But we I'm gonna fix right, so.
Use that new excavator.
Yeah, if I need something with a claw, I'm gonna call John.
Yes.
Been there, done that, no.
All right, thanks,
All right.
Chief.
All set?
Good.
Okay, hope to see you on March 3rd,
I
right?
will.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, we can go back to signing. Yeah. All right, so the next item is an appointment slip, for Adrian Hutchinson to the Local River Management Advisory Committee. Does the town get a representative on this committee?
That's what she's at.
Yeah,
okay.
local Merrimack, Upper Valley.
Upper Merrimack,
Merrimack Valley, whatever it's
Yeah.
called.
Merrimack.
All right, it looks like we just have one place to sign.
Well, that's somebody signed up for.
Yeah.
That hasn't been filled for a couple of years, has it?
She's been our rep for
Oh,
a
she
while.
has.
Yeah, she has been, but I'm not sure what they do or when they report. They write
So they have
something in
monthly
the town.
meetings, if you go to their website, they have monthly meetings and their agendas and minutes are all posted on the website.
All right, I'm gonna check it. I only ever see what they say in the town report.
And they do meet in Canterbury, they meet in all the different towns throughout the year, and, I think they, I'm not sure they met at the parish house, I think, the last time.
Huh.
Um,
I'll have to check that out more carefully.
Thank you. Pass that over. All right, Ken, with respect to this, disabled vet, tax credit, anything? It looks like it's been vetted in the office.
So Mandy just gave me that yesterday.
Okay,
It's one that was approved 2 years ago,
I see
and
that.
there's just an update to the application, so if you look through, you can see like notations on it from
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
She's just looking for initials
I
from,
see that.
initial and date
Yep.
from Scott and Kent.
Yep.
And then Beth to sign,
Okay.
this was originally signed by Cheryl.
Okay. Yeah, I see that too, okay. In the two places, Cal, any idea? Or just like in the red box for the initials and the date?
Initials and date in the little red box.
Okay. All right.
But there was, did you do
Place
it
for
here
you
too?
to sign, Beth.
There's 2 places.
Oh, all right, sorry. Thank you, Beth.
That's what the big blue thing is for.
I mean, somebody's keeping me honest.
That would be Cal.
Yeah, that's for all of us. All right, that's that.
might need to initial and sign it, date here too.
Alright, Cal's gonna check us, but. Alright, the final item is a notice of intent to cut wood or timber at 101 Old Tilton Road.
And that's just a sign.
Yep, that is correct.
It'll be what, 101?
101, that is correct. Yeah.
Neighbor.
Yeah. Is it?
Take out a bunch of pine, yes.
Yeah, I see there's a fair amount of white pine listed. Alright, that's.
It did not blow down yesterday.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So we've got a full stack of it.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you. All right, so why don't we start with approval of minutes from the January 20th, 2025 executive session.
So this is for before I was sick, and I didn't get time to do it before the February 3rd meeting.
Understood.
This fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a motion then.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, I'll collect that from each of you.
Which one was
January 20th. Should have your name and top on there. January 20th.
That one's February 30th. We need the January 20th.
It's, sorry, the minutes are complicated tonight.
Yeah.
I don't see anything with red on it.
We're missing wait. Nope. That is missing the 20th.
Is it under your agenda?
No.
Alright, before you leave, just let me look through your stack of papers to double
I'll
check.
give you those two.
Ta-da! Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
All right.
Alright, thank you.
All right, next item would be the February 3rd
Yes,
Not 30th.
public meeting.
so we have a whole bunch of corrections.
Okay. That's this one, right?
Yes. So the first correction is the date should be February 3rd, not January 20th.
Yep.
And then around line 13 through 17, and unfortunately this is different on the original, so it's really 13 through 16.
Yep.
Instead of saying starting the second session, which is required to discuss changes, includes moving Article 15, that whole line, change it to the warrant article for solar panels at the municipal complex must be the first at the second session because it is a bond, so all of the articles will be renumbered.
Okay.
Okay. The next change is adding the line under the Article 7 budget amendment title, which just says the draft of the 2025 budget was distributed.
Yep.
And then I crossed out the different sections of the pages that these were on.
Yep.
In the original minutes, that would be line 17. The next one is, on your copies, it's line 30. On the original copies, it's line 27. Changing, Mandy mentioned that we will get the $6,500 back to Mandy predicts that we will get the $6,500 back through increased tax revenue.
Yeah.
Alright, next page. Amendment to Article 16, changed it for clarity, so it will now read, the household hazardous waste budget will be adjusted from $10,000 to $10,500. The total cost of the project is $10,600. The grant money is available to cover the $100 difference. This is just to clarify what the original and everything is. Then line 56 on your copy, 54 on the original. Changing the scope is included in the contract based on the budget to the contract for the feasibility study would include a scope of work and be limited to the $6,500 budget in Article 19.
Yep.
Also, there's a whole bunch of things in here that I haven't highlighted, those are just grammatical kind of things.
On line 64.
Oh,
Keeps
right,
you going.
I meant to ask you about that.
Yep.
So you said,
Where it says we have locked in a price with Eastern for propane, but not for gas.
Mhm.
It should be not for gasoline.
Gotcha.
oh, gas.
Oh, see, I just assumed that's a better change.
Just to be clear on
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I,
propane, gas, and gasoline.
I meant to ask you about that, because I was like, it does say not gas, not gas. Okay. Next page, under fee schedule update for the planning board, I just clarified that it's Jan Stout, land use administrator.
Yep.
And then the, candidacy for standby secretary Cheryl Andrew, just changed it a little bit to break up the sentence, and then the last sentence is, a standby secretary will get the same hourly wages as current reporting secretaries.
Good.
Then on your copy is 87, the original copy is 83. Instead of town line adjustment, it's lot line adjustment. Same on the next line, it's also lot line, not town line. And then on line 95 in your copy, 91 in the original, changing it so that it says the map and lot numbers for each of the properties mentioned.
That's
And
good.
changing a small right-of-way to a small sliver of land he owns between the municipal complex, map 107 lot 3, and the Mordarsky property, map 107 lot 4. Then on the next page, which is 109 your copy, 103 the original copy, rules should be plans. And then line 117 your copy, 111 the original copy, just verifying that it's the warrant article for solar panels at the municipal complex. And then the only other change is on the very last page at the end, the next meeting is February 18th, not 25th.
Gotcha.
Any objections or additional things, or are you good to approve as a?
I'm good with it.
No, gentlemen. Yeah.
Good?
Yes.
Okay, looking for a motion then to approve as amended.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Alright.
That was a tough one.
We're not done yet.
Nope, but we're getting there.
So the next one is February 3rd, executive session.
Yep.
And there's two changes on here. The date should be February 3rd.
Yep.
And on line 11, it went into non-public session for reason C to discuss a police matter involving a resident.
Okay.
That's just the template.
Yep.
Language is
Yep.
okay.
Alright. So, motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor? Aye?
Uh,
And we'll collect those.
I got my copy.
Right, there we go.
Alright, count back at you. And that brings us to the final February 12th, 2025
Yes.
public portion.
So this was the working session. The first change is line 21. It's gonna read, The lowest cost of electricity offered through CPC&H is the base rate. In the August 2024, January 2025 rate period, that was 8.6 cents per kilowatt hour. The Board of Selectmen decided in the 6/26/24 meeting to set the town's default rate to Canterbury Basic at 8.8 cents.
Yep.
At the slightly rate to a slightly higher Canterbury Basic rate.
Yep.
Alright, then further down.
How do we need, oh, never mind, it's in there.
Okay. Further down in section III, just a change to end a sentence, and this means that, so that it's not a
Yep.
run-on.
Yep.
Then further down in section CI is use group net metering, switch it to, or change it to switch to group net metering. And then I think this is on the next page for you guys, is would be wasted. So if it does not, then the extra power generated would be wasted, should be changed to the extra power generated cannot be used to offset the electrical costs of other municipal buildings. And then later, we have section section E4, IV. Bob suggested that if the projects were smaller, we might be able to use conventional financing instead of a bond.
And on line 83, it says the town used Merrimack County Savings Bank for the same lake house. That should be the Franklin Savings Bank.
Gotcha.
Merrimack County was used for the purchase of the Oja field.
Okay.
Alright, thank you. Then we have further down F1, if the project was split into two smaller projects, just inserting smaller projects. Line further down, existing ground mounted array, just to clarify that it's ground mounted. Then further down F4, using the existing, that F3, that would potentially give highway enough space for the salt shed, which is currently located at the transfer station.
Yep.
That's it.
Alright. Just one. The only thing is, do we need the, on line 24 back in the, way in the beginning?
Yeah.
In section 2B, set the town's default rate to a slightly higher Canterbury Basic rate of 8.8 cents. Should it read okay without that in there? Do we need to say that Canterbury Basic is the name of the?
Well, that's what the quotation marks are for.
Okay. If it reads fine to everybody else, that's fine. That was my only.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Okay.
Then,
Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Take a motion to approve as amended.
So moved.
And seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
All right, 2 minutes.
This is the most part.
Yeah. All right, we're still, we've got a while till our 6:30. New business, Ken?
Yep.
Yes. So. There we go. All right, so I've got a letter from Jan Stout. It says, Selectmen, before Gail left, she had been working on an Equitable Waiver of Dimensional Requirements application. I completed the research. She had started and drafted an application. If this is approved by the Select Board, I will add it to the website, etc. Thank you, Jan. Cal, does each of us have a copy, or is this the only copy?
Just one copy.
So-
I read it this afternoon.
Okay,
I did too.
okay, good.
This has to do with if, there's a property that has changed, there's been a change there. It's a result of when they were renovating the country store, there was when the building inspector went there, they found that there was some, I guess they were too close to the lot line. So this is a form that municipalities have. This is something that as you read down through it, it is technically a violation, but the violation has been going on so long, it wasn't created intentionally. It's not gonna hurt anybody if the violation remains. It's basically grandfathering something in that happened. So
And it looks like the language was all taken from an
it's,
already existing New Hampshire document and, yeah. There was a couple of typos,
I
but
see, yeah.
fine.
Any comment?
I'm glad we're fixing it. I was there when that happened, so.
Okay, yeah. Do we need a motion or just an approval?
no, you can just approve this.
Okay.
This is a form that, the new form that we've come up with, and it's just.
I think it looks good to all of us.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
All right.
okay. All right,
It was her writing.
all right. All right, that brings us to minutes and agendas procedure.
Yes.
I read that one, it was interesting.
Yeah, that was a biggie.
Yeah.
So as we've seen, minutes tend to go from one example of just abiding by what the current law is to more or less a transcript of what happened in the meeting.
Yep.
And this is an attempt to try to, I guess, get all boards and committees to have some kind of consistency. One of the problems we run into is we really only have two secretaries.
Yeah.
And they're doing duties for multiple boards. So we felt that if there was some kind of consistency amongst the boards on how the minutes are done and everything, and it also helps the board members and secretaries understand the right to know requirements. And again, it's just something to really format for meetings, scheduling meetings, posting meetings, taking minutes, posting minutes, and all the things that go along with meetings. So I think Cal worked on this. She worked with Michelle from the planning board and Jan, myself. I think this is something that I hope that we can get out there and the other boards and committees will look at it and try to use it. It doesn't confine other boards or committees to a specific format, but it does encourage them to use a format. It also encourages them to record and stream their meetings. So that's kind of where we are with this.
It was a very complete how-to, basically how to do minutes, how to run a committee and make sure you're checking all the boxes. It's a very complete document. It's good. I like the fact that it also strongly encourages not just the secretaries to read this, but every committee from the chair on down to read and understand the rules. Because I think that's really important that everybody's on the same page. It's a weighty tone, but really good.
And I think, certainly moving forward into this year, I'm gonna make sure that we remain in compliance with 91A.
So I guess if you guys have any edits, comments, anything like that you'd like to make, this is your document. This is what you're putting out. So if there's something you'd like to see changed or added or whatever, we encourage you guys to look at it and give us something, and then we'll put it out. So.
And Cal, you'll be using this when you do 91A training? So anybody who comes to it will,
I was thinking of using this because I realize most of it overlaps with what I want to talk about at my training, so.
Yeah.
I didn't put that on my calendar for sure.
I think that's a great idea.
I do too.
And quite frankly, I would go do it again because it's a lot. And especially the steps and the posting, I think is, what a lot of people get bamboozled about too.
Yeah.
When to post, how, where, how often.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
And there are bills in the legislature right now to change 91A, to change some of the language that will unfortunately make it harder for municipalities to comply.
Well, that was a really interesting, notice that came through from NHMA about the bills that were coming forward and what they meant and which ones they opposed and why. And I think it was really clear that a lot of them would make it.
One part of it, they're changing from citizen to person,
Yeah,
which is, could have a fairly significant impact on municipalities.
well, and that citizen or person they could choose how they get the information. So, I mean, electronically is one thing, but if you had to print everything out and send it, that's huge.
Yep.
To anywhere in the world, I mean, it could be, so I think that was a really, a good communication from them to weigh in on.
Definitely.
It's a good organization.
Yeah.
So if you have any, if you go through this and if you see anything, let us know in the next couple of weeks and we'll make some edits and then we'll put it out there.
Sounds good.
One other thing on new business, March 3rd meeting, the moderator wants to meet with the Board of Selectmen to go over who's going to be discussing which warrant article.
Okay.
So, I'd ask that you guys look at the warrant articles, and then, I think, yeah, and I don't know if we're gonna have a work session to figure out who's gonna do what articles, or how you wanna do that.
So the March 3rd meeting, Jim wants to come
March
in?
3rd meeting is when the moderator is coming in,
Okay.
and you guys are gonna discuss who's gonna do which warrant article.
We're gonna be pressed for time because that's the same night as the fire department.
Correct. So it might not be a good night to try and get it all amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
Might try to do that ahead of time.
What happens on the same night?
It's the fire department ceremony.
Or
But that's in the, afternoon, isn't it?
No, that's at 6:30.
Oh, 18:30, yeah.
18:30, right. In civilian is 6:30.
I read 8:30 in the morning. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Yes, I suggest a work session so that we can divvy these up and be ready. Ideally, we could present Jim a list when he gets here.
It seems like it would be smart.
Can we have any extra of those handouts, we can look at it, fill in what's interesting to us, or?
I meant to print them out for tonight, so I'll email them to you.
Okay.
I just printed out one, actually, I just gave you the one that had
Gotcha, okay.
What, of the warrant articles?
Yes.
the notes for the warrant.
The
Oh, okay.
one that we've been passing around.
Got it.
So yeah, so why don't could we get something on the schedule, I guess, would be the
Yep.
next question. Why don't we,
The one that is in the calendar. Okay.
Usually the rest of this week and next week.
so Thursday night, I've got a meeting with, well, we both do. Isn't that, Tricentennial?
Tricentennial, at 6.
Yep.
Friday, nothing. Wednesday,
Wednesday's
tomorrow. No. I mean, I've got nothing.
Ken?
Got nothing?
Good. How about tomorrow?
All right?
Yeah.
Here,
Can we
Selectmen's
notice it in time? It's
Oh,
gonna be a
yeah.
public meeting.
You need 24 hours,
Yeah.
so unless you do it,
at
6:07.
6:07.
And you notice it right now.
yeah.
Friday night's fine by me, if it's okay with anybody else.
Kent,
It's fine with me.
Time,
Friday night,
Friday night,
so that we can,
21st.
21st, correct.
What time?
Do we, oh, 1 second, is Monday, do we need to do it on Friday? Is Monday better if you're both already here?
You could do it Monday if you wanted to.
Then you don't have to,
The 24th,
yes, because then you don't have to go and come, unless how late are you in the day? You
So
can't
there's a solid waste committee meeting at 3:30 on the 24th.
which that should be over by 5 though, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's all there is on Monday.
Kent, what do you think?
That looks good to me.
All right, why don't we do that?
Gotta
Monday,
stop changing it though, I'm running
Yeah.
out of space.
that'll be it.
Alright, Monday the 24th,
6
PM.
At Sand Lake,
What time?
5 PM?
yep, 5 works.
Okay, that's San Luis.
Yeah,
And at Sam Lake, is that what you said?
yes. Works.
Is that it?
Well, we have the list at 6:30.
5 p.m. All right, so that's 1600? What's 5 p.m., 1600?
17.
17.
Just have 2.
I'm no military person, what do I know?
17. All right.
Ken, do you wanna call? Is that what you do?
Give service.
I don't know how to get rid of that.
No internet connection, well, I'm sitting right here.
Hey, Ben, and Paulson.
Hey, it is cold. Brutal out there.
And we said,
We have a tree come down Old Tilton Road today, or somebody else pushed it off?
Somebody had already pushed it. There was 3 down on Baptist Hill.
Wow.
There was a leaner on Asby.
Well, since we've got, I'm just thinking maybe we can start to divide up who's gonna speak on what warrant.
If you wanna, you can start looking at that now. if you want.
where's
Where's that? It's in our binders.
just gotta figure out why I can't get on one.
Boy, the phone's gonna die, it's got no battery left.
It's been a busy day.
Can you get back to his number again?
You text me?
Yeah.
Someone's here.
Oh, is he here?
Someone's here. Can really see through the door.
Pull it in.
Oh, is he?
You better walk in.
Oh,
Okay. Guess what?
we we got done early, so I was trying to make sure you're on your way.
I'm on my way, I'm here.
Text.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright.
Good evening. I will say good morning, I don't know what, we're coming or going.
Yeah. Snowy weather
Yep.
brings that out.
So I think this should probably go into executive session
Okay.
discussion.
All right, so I will make a motion that we adjourn to executive session. Cal, what's the wording on, it's a personnel matter.
So this is gonna be for, reason A and reason B, I guess.